Alright, hi guys. So we did plan to actually like vlog today because it's such a big day today with our IUI appointment, or like the fertility appointment I should say. And I had the camera with me and everything, and we wanted to vlog in the car, but then there was like a ton of like stop and go traffic and we didn't know where to go. So while Matt was driving, I was looking at the maps so we couldn't vlog. And then we pulled up to like the parking lot that we wanted to park at, which turned out to be like right across from the building. And as we were pulling up, there was like a cool truck that I was looking at. And as I'm looking at the truck, I'm like, oh, something about this truck. And something clicked in my head. And there has been a post going around on Facebook and stuff about a local lady that like the truck got stolen from. So it turned out being like the stolen truck, like the license plate and everything matched. So I think we pulled up to the parking lot at like 9:30 so in the morning. So I tried to call her, but she wouldn't answer, so I left her a voicemail. And then I just called the police and said, I think I found like a stolen truck. So they took a bunch of information from us. And yeah, I think I was on the phone with them like legit until we went up the elevator to the building. It was crazy. So there again, like I wanted to, that's why I left the house so early, so that we could park, have a couple of minutes to talk to you guys and like vlog our experience and what we're thinking, all of that, our feelings and whatnot. It would have been so nice, but with everything going on, like I didn't want to vlog any of that because obviously it's like an investigation. So anyway, we went to the clinic, and like you kind of go in the building and then go up to the third floor, and the whole third floor is that new private fertility clinic. Now, compared to like the hospital, this is like brand new, everything, like it was so like fancy. I'll try to like maybe put some pictures in. But yeah, it was really pretty. There was like, everybody was so nice at the front desk. It was really cool actually. So they got us like all signed in, asked for like ID and stuff obviously, and then we just asked if we could use the washroom, both of us, because we're so nervous, like we had to go pee pretty bad. And then we just sat down for a couple of minutes, and Matt, I think, grabbed like a water or something, and then one of the nurses, I'm guessing, called us in. And she just took us like all the way down the hallway, passing like all like the consultation rooms, all the ultrasound rooms, like every single room we can think of. They even have like a little pharmacy in their building, which is so cool. So like if you need a certain medication, you know they're gonna have it, because like that's what they prescribe you, obviously. And it's just so cool. So anyway, we walked all the way down the hallway to that little room where they ended up taking my blood pressure, which I knew like at that point was so high because I was so like hyped up from finding like a stolen truck and everything. So and it was freezing cold outside, so I'm like, I could feel my heart beating so fast, like plus being so nervous. So I'm like, if my blood pressure is like super high right now, I know why, because this and this. And she's like, well, it's not like completely low, but it's not crazy high either. So she took my height and weight, and that was it. And usually like at the other like at the hospital fertility clinic, they took Matt's info too, but this time they didn't really care about Matt. They didn't care about Matt. And so we walked back up the hallway, past like the pharmacy and everything again, into one of the consultation rooms, which is like just like a clear glass, like almost looks like an office with like 4 chairs and a table. And there was like a little you know those like calendars that you can get for your table, like you just kind of like you flip them over. There was a big something like it on the table, and it ended up being like all the explanations, like kind of like a chart, I guess, for them to use depending on what treatment you can talk about or should talk about or whatever, with pictures and stuff to explain things better. So at that point we were just kind of sitting there still trying to get over the whole truck thing, because the way we were sitting, the window was facing right into the parking lot, so we were making sure that like nobody was leaving. Like you kept checking over, but you're trying to focus on the appointment too. It was so crazy. So anyway, then we sat down, we kind of like refocused on the appointment, not the truck. And that's when the doctor came, and she was actually a really, really nice lady. And she came in, introduced herself. She had a laptop with her, kind of like sat down and just went over some like health questions from us, like about our previous pregnancies and conceiving and letrozole, like Femera or whatever. And yeah, just like a bunch of questions. I'm sure I'll remember some that I probably should have mentioned to you guys. A bunch to like me, like I said, about the pregnancy, a bunch to like Matt about previous like health concerns and stuff. Most of it she did already have, because like this place, like you have an app, you have like an online portal where they can send you messages or send you requisition forms, things that like you need to get done. And on there was already like a pretty big, I don't know, like a file, I guess, to fill out for both of us. And just to like previous like history from us or our family members and stuff like that. So she already had a bunch of the information, but she just wanted to like re-ask a couple of questions, especially like about Matt's previous like smoking and stuff, just like when he did it, how long, that kind of stuff. And so yeah, after all that, she kind of like put the laptop away and then grabbed that little calendar thing. I don't know what you call those. So then she opened it and she was like, okay, so we have like 2 options or 3 options technically. So we have IUI, which obviously is what we're going to be going for. And she was saying that we could do 2 kinds of IUI. We could do the one where I'm on letrozole and we just wait for ovulation and like take my OPKs. And then when I ovulate, we do the IUI and that's it. Or we could do the IUI with the injectables, like do all the ultrasounds monitoring and stuff, and then do the IUI kind of thing. And then obviously like she jumped to IVF and was like, that's another option. This is how we do it and stuff, which I have to say like Matt really enjoyed, because I don't think like he's ever, like he knows what they are, but for him it was nice for a doctor to kind of explain it and have like pictures and stuff showing what exactly they do, how they do it, like what gets done during what procedure. So that was pretty cool. So after that, like after she went through those like 3 options, I kind of asked about the fact that like I've heard with PCOS, like overstimulation with injectables, which I've talked to a couple of you guys about, that happened and then you had to cancel the cycle. And so she was like, yeah, obviously like that's definitely an option, like it could happen, but it's nothing that like, that's what the monitoring is obviously there for, so that if something happens, like we know about it. So then I asked her, I said, like, I did some research. I've been talking to a couple ladies and they do like the letrozole and then just a trigger and then do IUI. And she's like, that's definitely an option. We can definitely do that if that's what we choose to do. She would totally go with that too. So that's kind of what the plan is now, is letrozole. She's bumping me up to 7.5 milligram instead of 5 milligram, which is a little scary because I've been doing fine on the 5 milligram. I don't know how I'm going to react or what's going to happen on 7.5 milligram, but maybe that's exactly what I need to have like a sooner ovulation, better eggs, that kind of thing. Also, she doesn't want me on progesterone for like the next cycle, just because she wants to see what my natural progesterone is like, and she doesn't have those values anywhere. Now, I know that my other doctor would have them, like my OBGYN, because she took them like for the cycles when I did my progesterone check after ovulation kind of thing. So yeah, anyway, like I did call my OBGYN's office to ask if they can send all of that information over to us or me so that I can get it to them quicker. Because as of right now, like she needs to see Met semen analysis from like a year and a half ago or whatever, just to make sure everything to her looks okay. And before that, we can't do anything. So my period's supposed to start sometime this week. I might drag it out a little bit longer with the progesterone just to get things figured out. So yeah, until then, there's nothing that she can really do, which really sucks because my cycles are fairly long, as you guys know. So I was hoping now that like the cycle's supposed to start this week, we could do IUI this week, which we might still be able to if she gets all the information she needs until then. If she doesn't, then we would have to wait. Which kind of sucks because then we're looking into like February/March for IUI, and we're hoping it will be like now January/February. So to be honest, like I'm a little bit upset about that because I kind of hit my heart set on the fact that we could get going with this like this week, get things like going, be excited about this month, and now it's kind of like, just testing again. But hey, what are you gonna do, right? So we'll see how it goes. I am going to try and call my OBGYN's office again tomorrow if they don't get a hold of me today, just to make sure that maybe they can get all that stuff ready for me and I'll just pick it up and drop it off, that kind of thing. But yeah, that's about it with the appointment. So after, I don't know, I think we were in there for like 45 minutes or so, just asking a bunch of questions and stuff. So then she just gave me like a waiver form, which we need to fill out and send back in, just because it is like a invasive procedure. I can't say that word, procedure. So they just need to have everything covered before they start the cycle. So it's kind of like a booklet just saying what's going to happen when, and yeah, so I noticed that on that waiver form, it does talk about Clomid and IUI, but in my case, it's still a Femara, which I'm glad that she didn't say, okay, no, we have to switch over to Clomid. So I'm happy that I get to stay on my Femara, which is great. We are obviously going to do an IUI, so whether it's the upcoming cycle or the cycle after, we will see, but at least we're getting going with the plan, which is really exciting. So I just figured I would update you guys on that, kind of sit down and talk about it. I wish, like I said, I could have vlogged it, so it would have been more of like the real experience and for you guys to be there with us too. But like I said, with everything going on, there was just no way I could. It would have just been a mess. So this way is easier. And yeah, I doubt this video will be up today, probably like a day late or so, just because we have some stuff to do this afternoon. And that way, I don't know if I'll be able to edit it. I'll try. It might be out today. It might not be out until tomorrow. So we'll see. But thank you guys for checking in. And I'll talk to you guys as soon as we know any kind of updates. All right. I'll see you soon. Bye.